Good morning, everybody. On behalf of Chancellor Ballard and the entire ECU community, welcome to Greenville, balmy Greenville. I've been telling my friends from other parts that Greenville is the equivalent to the Red Sea. The weather systems part either side of us and leave us untouched, or relatively untouched. Well, I think as John said, we all know every year we meet to talk about the challenges that we face, and certainly none more challenging than this year. I think we also know that as a region we have a proud tradition of relying on one another and helping one another as we try and move forward. And I'm here this morning to emphasize that your university stands here strongly with you all as a resource and a friend and a partner as we try and move forward in the economic development of this great region. I think all of you know that ECU's motto, Servire de Serve, is something that's not just words, but something that our history and our current practices show that we practice, that we just don't talk the talk, we walk the walk. And in the last few years, as we responded to Erskine Bowles' call on UNC Tomorrow and redefining the university's system and recommitting itself to the people of this great state, that we redefined our mission and laid out a bold and vigorous plan on that commitment to the region. And we talked about how we were committed to being a national model for how a public university will help transform the region. And it was that in mind that we know that no region of the country, no country in the world succeeds unless it has in its midst a strong, active research university. Now, of course, I'm the Vice Chancellor for Research, so I'm going to talk about that in particular, but I also have under my division Economic and Community Development, as many of you know, through the great work of Ted Morris and all his crew. But it is true, there is no region, there is no country in the world that fares well in economic development without that strong presence, and of course, with our great partners in the community college system. And it was with that in mind that this year, when our division met, that we produced a white paper which is called Meeting the Grand Challenges to the East, articulating and making quite clear the division and the university's commitment to economic development, to building a strong, not just through the production of human capital, which of course we do all the time, in building that knowledge economy, the human capital, but focusing the university's resources very clearly on the needs of the people of the East. You could and should quite rightly expect to have access to universities' technical, physical, and intellectual resources. And the question is how we best challenge these. And so in this paper, we committed ourselves to addressing 4 particular areas that I think we're all familiar with. The great coastal context that we live in, and the environmental challenges of a changing climate, of sea level rise, of balancing development on our outer banks with what at the same time sustaining our natural resources, as Secretary Carlisle knows all about. With dealing with the health issues of this region, a region that is beset by extraordinary challenges in terms of cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and the health disparities that make access to health care and availability of health challenging, to say the least. We are committed, of course, to a knowledge-based economy. We have a great College of Education that has produced teachers for this region, superintendents and the like, but we have to focus on producing those STEM students and those STEM graduates, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics. I spoke about this once before and somebody said, oh my gosh, the Vice Chancellor's into stem cell research. And I said, no, we're talking about those strong subjects that are the very foundation of a knowledge-based economy and producing the kind of skills that's needed by a knowledge-based industry. So we are committed to that and to the advanced learning technologies and distance education that makes those intellectual resources and education accessible to the people of this region, no matter where they live, no matter how much time they have to devote to their learning and how many other commitments they might have. And we're also, and very importantly, and you will hear about this later on today, we are strongly committed to the region's military population. This is a strong focus of our university, and we acknowledge the tremendous efforts of that population and their families. Let me give you 2 examples. Dr. David Sestola is here in our midst this morning, and he is leading a great surge that we call Operation Reentry. We are using the entire university's resources to help the military, their families, their communities. We offer an array of holistic services and help and intellectual and other resources, professional resources, that no other university, frankly, in this state can do. And all of those are being brought to bear. We are looking at how we help communities in Onslow and Carteret County deal with that huge population that's growing and coming in, and everything from accommodations to infrastructure and water and sewer systems. So I think you can see that we are here firmly with you. We look at the production of people, of the graduates, of the knowledge, of the products, the intellectual products, the knowledge that spins out of our labs and our classrooms and our meeting rooms, the increasing commercialization and the technology that spins out from that. And be standing with this region, as we always have for all the years of our existence, as your partner, as your commitment of resources to move this region forward. I thank you, I welcome you all here, and I look forward to a very exciting agenda. Thank you.